your own mind, also not the way you want. This is what we are going to understand with this practice. So to understand this practice, what we have to do, you have to get some idea, either your family members or fiancé or food or cow house, or either about Lord Buddha, or about some anyone, any idea. You take any idea, and you try to keep your mind on that without changing. So you want to, you make some need to keep your mind at the same idea. So this is your wish. So you try to maintain your wish with your mind, whether it is possible or not. That means what you have to do, you get, suppose that as an example, you select your father. You want to keep on thinking about your father without going your mind to anywhere. Only focus is to about your father. So this is your own most ownership. Your most ownership is your mind. So we are going to check whether your mind is the way you want or not. This is some I will give so 2 minutes interval. So within 2 minutes you try to practice whether your mind can keep in a one particular pace or not. If you can, then mean your mind is the way you want. If you can't, then the mind is not the way you want. So this is what you are going to practice.
So let's close your eyes and watch your mind for 2 minutes, and we'll be silent during that time. We have just completed 2 minutes, and you can open your eyes. And now there'll be a poll, and there are 4 questions on this. During the last 2 minutes, I kept my mind without wandering in one place. My mind wandered without my knowledge, permission, or control. I voluntarily focused my mind on one subject and stayed there. I did not follow, did not understand the instruction. So it's again an anonymous poll, so just please feel free to answer. And you will see this shortly. We're going to end the poll just now in a minute, and we can share the results. You should now see the results on your screens. And Abhaya Thero will discuss the results.
I think as he explained to you, 70% of the devotees can't keep his mind at a one particular place. That means, but the thing is, you want to keep your mind at a one particular place, particular idea, particular things, but it is impossible. That means your own mind is not the way you want. But 30% of the devotees they are telling that voluntary focus my mind on subject and stay there. But the thing is, if you take the time more than 2 minutes, around 5, 6, 10 minutes, definitely they also fail to do so. So when you go home and after this session, you try whether your mind can be keep in a one particular place without going here and there. It is difficult. So from this poll also very good results comes. This is a very true nature. This everything in the world is not the way we want, not the way we like, not the way we desire, and not the way we like. And this, since this all the insatiable, so there are some 30% they are telling that they can do that one, but you have to take the more than 2 minutes. You have to take around 5 to 10 minutes. Then you can understand your mind is going here and there. You can't know any control. So then from this poll we can understand that all the people, a lot of 99% people can't control their even their mind. This is totally belonging to you, not to any other, because your own mind also not the way you want, not the way you like, not the way you desire. So everything is insatiable. So this is a small practice to get some idea. But the thing is even your body, the mind also not the way you want. Your body, your aging, death, suffering, illness, it's come to you, what you don't like, but it's come to you. So your body also not the way you want, not the way you like, not the way you desire. So your own body and mind not the way you want, like, and desire. So then you can understand total you is insatiable, not the way you want. So if your own things also not the way you want, not the way you desire, then how can you find some external things according to your wish? Then this is a very foolish idea. Then no one is there to have everything. Satiable things are there. Then this whole world is insatiable, not the way you want, not the way you like, not the way you desire. Then everything is insatiable. This is some practice to get that idea. So you keep on practicing 2-3 days, then you can understand that even your mind and body also not the way you want.
So let's move on. So we might think that meditation is mind control, but this is also not quite right. Controlling means need extra effort. All thoughts at the beginning born in a prabhashara mind, that's a clean mind. It is this prabhashara mind, the clean mind, that go chasing pleasures, asada, with greed or matters of dvesha, hatred, or moha, delusion. And if you do not carry on this chase, then you need no energy to chase. Thus, prabhashara mind will remain prabhashara. So no need for extra energy and you will calm down. It is not mind control. Just leave the mind be where it was born. So in this discussion today, we saw 2 slides. The first one, the Eightfold Noble Path with Prajna, Sila, Samadhi, and the actions we need to do. And we also saw 10 immoral actions and again, the things that we need to do. In both, there's one thing in common. You need to know Satara Satipatthana, and then you need to practice meditation. So there is a need for us now to go back into Satara Satipatthana and just remind ourselves what it is all about. Now, Satara Satipatthana refers to an approach aimed at establishing sati. Sati is a good mental factor. Sati promotes only moral thoughts, kushala sitta. Sati does not lead to immoral thoughts, that's akushala sitta. Sati is the seventh of the 8 factors in the Noble Eightfold Path. Now, Satara Satipatthana will help to get rid of the 5 hindrances, which is called Pancha Nivarana, that hinder successful meditation. This includes sensory desire, that's Kama Chanda, that is seeking for pleasure through the 5 senses. Then there is ill will, that is Vyapada, that is feeling of hostility, resentment, hatred, and bitterness. Then there's sloth and torpor, that's Thinavada, that is half-hearted action with little or no effort or concentration. Then restlessness and worry, that is Uddacha Kukkucha, that is the inability to calm the mind and focus one's energy. Then doubt, that is Vichikicha, lack of conviction or trust in one's abilities. So Satara Satipatthana is therefore a self-training process. It comes in 4 steps of Anupassana. What is Anupassana? Now, Anupassana is looking at, thinking about, reviewing and contemplating on the basis of anicca, that's insatiability, dukkha, that is suffering, and anatta, that is valuelessness. Aims to ultimately get rid of raga, that is lustful, dvesha, that is hateful, and moha, that is delusional thoughts. Let's take the first Anupassana, that's Kaya Anupassana. Now here, Kaya means the bodily actions related to vipaka returns of the 6 faculties. Say, for example, you're hit by someone and you take the hand away so that you get a protective reaction. Now that's the Kaya, that's the body action. Kayanupassana is observe the Kaya bodily actions, contemplating the anicca, dukkha, anatta, to get rid of the 10 immoral actions. Say, if you wanted to return to someone who was trying to hit you with another blast, then here you get into some bodily actions, that is Kayanupassana. This is the Kayanupassana can be ceased, Kaya cannot be ceased. And I think, okay, Thero will explain a bit more.
This is the very descriptive subject. That means in earlier Kayanupassana, all the Buddhist devotees are practiced as a Kayanupassana. But in Buddhism, they are practicing Kayanupassana. This is the main difference. Kayanupassana and Kayanupassana is different practice of Buddhist philosophy. But if you get the Kayanupassana, what they are doing, they are looking at all the bodily action and pains and a lot of blah blah blah, they are looking. But in Buddhism, there are 2 Kaya. The Kaya mean the first Kaya is eye and visual form, ear and sound, nose and smell, tongue and taste, body and touch, mind and dhamma. This is called first Kaya. That Kaya no one can seize. This is even for after become a perfect one, that means Arahat also, first Kaya is there. Second, Kaya Anupassana. The Anupassana mean if you look at something, anicca, dukkha, anatta, insatiable, suffering and worthlessness, according to the anicca, dukkha, anatta, if you are get rid of some Kaya, that Kaya mean all the klesha Kaya. That means if someone is hit you, the body and body touch with something, but then you get some angry. So the whatever things, some pole or something, someone is hit to you with the pole, then this pole is touch with your body. That's the first kaya. No one can seize that one. But then again, what you are doing, you are getting anger. The anger is second kaya. If you start by the lamination part of the asada, that means raga, desha, moha, lustful, hateful, delusional thought. If you start the lustful, hateful, delusional thought due to any action, this is called second kaya. That second kaya, by thinking of the insatiability and suffering and worthlessness, we can cease, we can stop. But first kaya, no one can stop. Even when Lord Buddha faced to the some Devadatta is falling some stone, and they make some wound of his legs. That pain was feel to the even Lord Buddha. That is called only first kaya. First kaya can't cease. Second kaya mean that lustful, hateful, delusional thought. The second kaya can be seized with Anupasana. The Anupasana means if you think anything about with the help of Anicca, Dukkha, Anatta, insatiable, suffering and worthlessness, then you can seize the second kaya. There are two kaya, you have to understand this, both kaya. One kaya can be seized. This is the main difference between supramundane way of meditation and mundane way of meditation.
Similarly, now in supramundane terms, we just talked about the Kaya Anupasana, Kaya Anupasana. That means we will not bodily react with 10 immoral actions through contemplation of Anicca, Dukkha, Anatta. Then there's Vedana Anupasana. That is the laminated part. Now ceasing feelings laminated by lustful, hateful, delusional thought, contemplating Anicca, Dukkha, Anatta. Then Chitta Anupasana means ceasing raga, dvesha, moha thoughts via contemplation of Anicca, Dukkha, Anatta. And then we have Dhamme Dhammanupasana, which means we contemplate Anicca, Dukkha, Anatta at Samma Samadhi.
Here I think we explain about Kaya Anupasana. Vedana Anupasana we can take as a, suppose someone is hit to you, then when everyone even become even after become arhat, that means perfect one, that he also having a very painful pain. That's mean bad pain come to you, someone hit you. But thing is, second Vedana Anupasana, there are two Vedana. One is someone is hit you, so first Vedana is a vipaka, the return, no one can seize. But then if you are not become a arahat, then what, even a lay person or become a sovan, sakadagami, anagami, you may get some anger. With the anger, there are second pain. That pain means they are suffering. This is called second pain. Vedana Anupasana means that we can seize with the help of insatiability. If you understand the real insatiability, then you can seize the second Vedana. The one Vedana you can't seize. Second Vedana you can seize with the understand of the insatiability, anicca. Chittanupasana means, suppose that you have some your friend. So in one particular time, you just came some thought about his friend. This is called first chitta. It is due to some touching of the Dhamma. For later on, you are keep on thinking about his friend. That's called lustful thought. Or he is my very good friend. I want anyway, and that lot of blah blah you are keep on thinking. That second thought is come as a second one can. This is laminated one. The first one is chitta is only just remind you about friend. The second one is laminated one. You are thinking on lustful, you are thinking. That lustful thinking part we can cancel out, that means cease with the insatiability. It is only mental fabrication. It is creating the gratification. So all the gratification are insatiable, so you can seize this second laminated part of this chitta. Dhamme Dhammanupassana mean even for the arahat, even for become a perfect one, there are some dhamma. But out of this, there are some another dhamma. This called avidya paccaya sankara, sankara paccaya vijnana, and those things what we learn as a paticca samuppada, avidya paccaya sankara. Those dhamma we have to think, we can anupassana. This is a laminated one. This is dhamma is called laminated part. By using the anupassana, we can seize the second dhamma. First dhamma you can't stop. That means your thought pattern and all the thought process you can't stop. But you can seize the lustful, hateful, delusional, and laminated part of the thought only. You can seize with the insatiability, suffering, and uselessness. Okay.
Our thoughts are the driving force of our actions. Our thoughts are dictated by our character and habits. That's gati. These character qualities, gati, can be changed with effort. That is what we learned. So Satasatipatthana means establishment, training, or molding the mind to act with sati. And in this training process, we focus on the 5 grasping aggregates, contemplating the 4 categories of anupassana and anicca, dukkha, anatta. And this will mature our thinking to a status of samma sati. This helps us get on the ladder to reach samma samadhi.
This Satasatipatthana help us to seize a lot of the gross type klesha, because in very fine type kleshas we can get rid of with the dhyana, first, second, third, fourth dhyana. For the Satasatipatthana mainly focus to change our gati and keep on sati. The sati mean we have to always keep on mind anicca, dukkha, anatta to about whatever the things we face. If you are, before you are making the 5 grasping aggregate, that means you are lustful, hateful, delusional thought, you have to keep on either chanting or thinking of anicca, dukkha, anatta. You can seize the creation of the grasping part of this 5 aggregate. That is called Satasatipatthana. This is the main key foundation to the Ari Dhyana, Samma Samadhi.
So we end our presentation soon. That please send your comments, suggestions, and feedback to Aridhama Meditation Group. The email is over there. And the Q&A section will follow. And you can ask questions as it was described by the host at the beginning via the chat function or verbally during the Zoom discussion. And we will, before the Q&A, the Abhaya Thero is going to do a sermon on what is Sammaditthi. And we will listen to this sermon after taking a 5 minutes break.
Can you hear me?
Yes,
we
Samadhi.
can hear you.
It's clear. Thank you.
Okay, now we are going to show some Tripitaka proof about the things what we explained up to now. This meditation is called meditation beyond existence. This is a very special word we have used in meditation beyond existence. The existence, all the existence are belonging to the worldly matter. So when we are doing our supramundane type of meditation dhyana, we are keeping our mind beyond the existence. That means dutu nivan shantiya. Whatever the fees in your mind due to this Dhamma discussion, listen after listening of Dhamma discussion, your mind may be somewhat cool, somewhat some relax, somewhat bliss. So that portion is called as Dutu Nivan Shanti. That means whatever you have already ceased. If you have understood this whole principle as a one unit, then your mind will cease some pleasure. That means since this whole the existence is not worth, some of these now as a vision, really as a vision, the worthlessness, anatta. So since this all the world is insatiable suffering and worthlessness, worthlessness, so your mind is sees some part of as a vision. So that part you are very cool mind, you have some cool mind, bliss. So that bliss is called Dutu Nivan Shanti. That already your mind is somewhat very relaxed. The portion, the one portion is not relaxed, so one portion is relaxed. The portion you have relaxed up to now is called as Dutu Nivan Shanti. So you are focusing into that Dutu Nivan Shanti to get the Lokottara Dhyana. That is why this meditation is called as meditation beyond existence. Here's some Tripitaka. Can you read?
If what you have believed so far is not helping you to grow, that is something you have to let go of.
That means if something is because up to now, as Buddhist devotee, you are you are practicing some rituals and meditation and a lot of things. But when you listen to this Dhamma discussion, you may understand the main path of this way is not the supramundane way. So we explain some supramundane way. So in Payasi Sutta Digha Nikaya, it is mentioned that whatever the things is not not helping to grow up your spiritual path, that means if you are already practicing the wrong way, misconception, so you have to get rid of this, all the throw away that all these rituals and everything. This is in Tripitaka. Here is mentioning. Can you read this one?
Even though Master Kassapa says this, still I am not able to let go of that harmful misconception. King Pasenadi of Kosala knows my views, and so do foreign kings. If I let go of this harmful misconception, people will say, how foolish is the chieftain Payasi, how incompetent that he should hold on to a mistake. I shall carry on with this view out of anger, contempt, and spite.
Nowadays also a lot of Buddhist devotees have this question, that they have up to now they have taken they are practice a lot of misconcept, harmful misconcept. So if they understood that these are misconceptions, they don't like to get it off. Very similar the Payasi king, like a Payasi king, and Payasi king come to the Kashyapa Thero and ask about this question. So even though he understood this is a misconcept, but he don't like to get rid of these things. Then Payasi king is thinking, then the people may think he is as some foolish man. This is what happened nowadays also. A lot of our Buddhist even chief. Okay.
Well then, chieftain, I shall give you a simile. For by means of a simile, some sensible people understand the meaning of what is said. Once upon a time, a certain swineherd went from his own village to another village, Bhutapubba. There he saw a large pile of dry dung abundant. He thought, this pile of dry dung can serve as food for my pigs. Why don't I carry it off? So he spread out his upper robe, shoveled the dry dung into it, tied it up into a bundle, lifted it onto his head, and went on his way. While on his way, a large sudden storm poured down, smeared with leaking, oozing dung down his fingernails. He kept on carrying the load of dung. When people noticed this, they said, "Have you gone mad, sir? Have you lost your mind? For how can you, smeared with leaking, oozing dung, down to your fingernails, keep on carrying that load of dung? You are the mad ones, sirs. You are the ones who have lost your minds. For this will serve as food for my pigs." In the same way, chieftain, you seem to like the dung carrier in the smile. Let go of this harmful misconception, chieftain. Let's go of it. Don't create lasting harm and suffering for yourself.
This is some example that Kashyapa Thero is explaining. So I think you can understand. This is some very the example they are explaining. Very similar way nowadays also some people can they don't have any argument. They can understand the way we are explaining is okay, but the thing is they don't like to get rid of these old traditions and come to the real Buddhism. So this is some example for the whatever the wrong misconcept you are keeping on your mind, we have to get rid of these things and come to the real Buddhism. So this is the some example in Tripitaka. Very similar things as today happen in Lord Buddha's era also. There had been some people they understood that this is a way to Nibbana, but things they have carry this wrong misconcept for long time. They can't get rid of these things because then the people think because he has bear some wrong misconcept. So this is very good example and sutta even for today. So if something is wrong, you have to get rid of the things.
The knowledge and conduct is not sufficiently enough to be a terminator.
The terminator means that all the keles to cease all the keles. The knowledge and conduct is not sufficient enough. So even knowledge should be there, conduct should be there. With the knowledge and conduct, we have to get rid of all the grasping aggregate. This is the this is what Upavana Sutta Anggutta Nikaya explain.
So, Reverend Sariputta, when asked whether you become a terminator because of knowledge or conduct, or knowledge and conduct, or for some other reason, you say that's not it. How then do you become a terminator? Reverend, if you became a terminator because of knowledge, then even someone who still has grasping could be a terminator. If you became a terminator because of conduct, then even someone who still has grasping could be a terminator. If you became a terminator because of both knowledge and conduct, then even someone who still has grasping could be a terminator. If you became a terminator for some reason other than knowledge and conduct, then even an ordinary person could be a terminator. For an ordinary person lacks knowledge and conduct. Reverend, someone lacking good conduct does not know and see things as they are. Someone accomplished in good conduct knows and sees things as they are. Knowing and seeing things as they are, one is a terminator.
This is very good example because here some terms explaining knowledge. The knowledge mean what we have explained up to now as a Four Noble Truth. The Four Noble Truth is the knowledge, insatiable, suffering and worthlessness, and about all gratification. This is the knowledge. The word conduct mean you have to practice the Satara Satipatthana. So we have to get rid of all this lustful, hateful, delusional thought. So while we are, if you knowledge and conduct have to be practiced to get rid of the grasping aggregate. This is the main theme of this. Whatever the things we have explained up to now in this sutra discourse, it is very shortly explained. On knowledge is not sufficient enough, conduct is not sufficient enough. Knowledge and conduct have to be used to eliminate, terminate the all the grasping aggregate. Then you can become a terminator. So only knowledge is not sufficient enough, conduct is not sufficient enough. You have to use both the things and terminate the grasping aggregate. This is the summary of this sutra.
The knowledge and conduct can be used to seize the grasping and become a terminator. What is meditation? Cessation of five hindrances are called meditation.
In this sutra, it is very difficult. It was very difficult to find the English version of that one. In this sutra, it mentioned all the five hindrances. Cessation of all the five hindrances is the meditation. It is in Kuddaka Nikaya, Patisambhida Magga Pakane, Panya Magga, Patisambhida Kata. But it was very difficult to find the English version of this one. But here in Sinhala and Pali, it's mentioned a cessation of five hindrances are called as meditation.
What is to be meditated?
Sanggutta Nikaya 6, Bhavetabba Sutra.
I will teach you the principle to develop and the principle not to develop. And what is the principle not to develop? Wrong view, wrong thought, wrong speech, wrong action, wrong livelihood, wrong effort, wrong mindfulness, wrong immersion, wrong knowledge, and wrong freedom. This is called the principle not to develop. And what is the principle to develop? Right view, right thought, right speech, right action, right livelihood, right effort, right mindfulness, right immersion, right knowledge, and right freedom. This is called the principle to develop.
From this one we can understand that all the Samma eightfold path is the way to do meditation. Is a later part, and what's principle is to develop is right view. Right means samadhi, right thought, right speech, right action, right livelihood, and right effort, right mindfulness, and right immersion, right knowledge, and right freedom. This is called noble eightfold path. This is what we have to develop. This is the opposite of this one. This is a worldly path. It should not be meditate. We have to meditate the eightfold path. That's what we have to take from this discourse.
Noble Eightfold Path should be meditated.
This is what we have to understand. Noble Eightfold Path should be meditated.
The mundane and supramundane Noble Eightfold Path. The supramundane right view for the Noble Eightfold Path.
For this right view also, there are two types. One is mundane type, another is super mundane type. There are two type of things. So Majjhima Nikaya 3 Mahachattarika Sutra. So Mahachattarika, all these two way, mundane and super mundane way of eightfold path is explaining. There are two ways.
Right view is twofold, I say. There is right view that is accompanied by defilements, has the attributes of good deeds, and ripens in attachments. And there is right view that is noble, undefiled, transcendent, a factor of the path. And what is right view that is accompanied by defilements, has the attributes of good deeds, and ripens in attachment. There is meaning in giving sacrifice and offerings. There are fruits and results of good and bad deeds. There is an afterlife. There are duties to mother and father. There are beings reborn spontaneously. And there are ascetics and Brahmins who are well attained and practiced, and who describe the afterlife after realizing it with their own insight. This is right view that is accompanied by defilements, has the attributes of good deeds, and ripens in attachments.
If you listen to this all that the discourse, the right view also two type. There are two type. One is worldly type, another is supramundane type. That means lokottara way. If someone is accepting these 10 concept, this called mundane type right view. So other thing is supramundane type. Supramundane type is difference. It should be understand the insatiability and suffering and worthlessness. This is just by understand this 10 concept, you can become a you may have a right view. So there are, you should have to understand there are two types.
And what is right view that is noble, undefiled, transcendent, a factor of the path? It is the wisdom, the faculty of wisdom, the power of wisdom, the awakening factor of investigation of principles, and right view as a factor of the path. In one of noble mind and undefiled mind, who possesses the noble path and develops the noble path. This is called right view, that is noble, undefiled, transcendent, a factor of the path. They make an effort to give up wrong view and take up right view. That is their right effort. Mindfully, they give up wrong view and take up right view. That's their right mindfulness. So these three things keep running and circling around right view, namely right view, right effort, and right mindfulness. In this context, right view comes first. And how does right view come first?
From here we can understand the noble right view, and there are from this two right view, this is the by understanding the Four Noble Truth, then this is called wisdom. So the wisdom is the first thing we have to understand. Wisdom is come to the right view. With the knowledge of Four Noble Truth, this is the noble path. So from this noble path, when you are practicing this noble path, the right view and the right view and right effort and right mindfulness is always support to the fulfill the all these other part of the Eightfold Path. So this is the very important one. This is the supramundane way of right view.
When you understand wrong thought as wrong thought and right thought as right thought, that's your right view. Namely, right view, right effort, and right mindfulness. In this context, right view comes first. And how does right view come first? When you understand wrong thought as wrong thought, and the wrong thought as right thought, and right thought as right thought, that's your right view.
Then you can understand how this the right thought and right view is. If you look at something according to the Four Noble Truth, dukkha, samudaya, nirodha, marga, then you call it as a right view. That means if you are look at something in the way of anicca, dukkha, anatta, then you are thinking of right view with the right thought. So then only you can become a terminator. That means you can get rid of this all the suffering, and you may grow this Eightfold Path.
The knowledge on cessation of lust, hate, and delusion, attachment, is called supramundane right view.
Yeah, then there are two right view. One is mundane type right view, another is supramundane type right view. The supramundane type right view is the if someone get the knowledge of cessation of lust, hateful, and delusion by the mean of by understanding the insatiability, suffering, and useless worthlessness of the all this gratification. This is called supramundane right view.
The meaning of Samma.
Yes, in the Eightfold Path, the Samma Ditti, Samma Sankappa, Samma Vacha, it's all called Samma. The word Samma means, what's the meaning of Samma? If you break this word Samma, Sang means summation, collection, gathering, sum. Ma, the word Ma means escape, terminate, get rid of, let it go. So the word Samma means if you are attached to the detaching side of the gratification. That means if you are attached to the termination, cessation of lustful, hateful, delusional thought, then you are come to the Samma way, that called Eightfold Path.
The meaning of Samma is the cessation of amplified mental fabrication. How to achieve the supramundane right view?
This Samyukta Nikaya Kaccayana Butta Sutra.
Then Venerable Kaccanagotta went up to the Buddha, bowed, sat down to one side and said to him, "Sir, they speak of this thing called right view. How is right view defined? This world mostly relies on the dual notions of existence and non-existence. But when you truly see the origin of the world with right understanding, you won't have the notion of non-existence regarding the world. And when you truly see the cessation of the world with right understanding, you won't have the notion of existence regarding the world."
Here you can understand that if you truly see the cessation of the world, the cessation means if you take this world is existing, then you can't cease anything. If you take these are non-existent things, then there are nothing to cease. So if you have taken, so according to the situation, you have to take the existence and non-existence both are there, but with the understanding of the Dhamma, you can see something. Cessation of something. Something means all the lamination part of the klesha can be ceased, not the physical world. So this is what we are emphasize here.
The world is for the most part shackled to attraction, grasping, and insisting. But if, when it comes to this attraction, grasping, mental resolve, insistence, and underlying tendency, you don't get attracted, grasp, and commit to the notion myself, you will have no doubt or uncertainty that what arises is just suffering arising, and what ceases is just suffering ceasing. Your knowledge about this is independent of others. This is how right view is defined.
So here also you can understand that all the physical world you can't cease. So only you can cease is all the grasping, that means attachment and lustful delusional thought, and attached with the lustful delusional thought we can cease. If you understood that one, without physical world, the physical world is keep as it is, but we can cease this or the lustful delusional thought. This is called, after understanding of the Four Noble Truth, only we can do this. We can have this right view or Samma Ditti.
All exist. This is one extreme. All doesn't exist. This is the second extreme. Avoiding these two extremes, the realized one teaches by the middle way. Ignorance is a condition for choices. Choices are a condition for consciousness. That is how this entire mass of suffering originates. When ignorance fades away and ceases with nothing left over, choices cease. When choices cease, consciousness ceases. That is how this entire mass of suffering ceases.
This is the one two wrong view. All exist. There's a wrong view is the one extreme. Other thing is this all doesn't exist. This also here you have to say all doesn't exist. All exist or all doesn't exist is the two extreme only. So, but in Lord Buddha's way, Paticca Samuppada is the things that create in this whole suffering. The Paticamuppada start with the ignorance. If ignorance is there, is a condition for choice. Choice. Avidya pacha sankara, sankara pacha vijnana, vijnana pacha namarupa. That's how this suffering is created. If ignorance is fade off, if the ignorance is not there, if we can cease the ignorance, then we can cease the choices, and we can cease all the Paticamuppada. This is how suffering start and suffering cease. This is the way of middle way. Middle way means Majjhima Patipada. The Majjhima Patipada is the way Paticamuppada is create, how the Paticamuppada create the suffering, and how we are cessation of Paticamuppada will lead to end of the suffering. This is called Samma Ditti, right view.
The supramundane right view is the knowledge on cessation of gratification. What is right practice and what is wrong practice? Americans, I will teach you the wrong practice and the right practice. Listen and pay close attention. I will speak. Yes, sir, they replied. The Buddha said this. And what's the wrong practice? Ignorance is a condition for choices. Choices are a condition for consciousness. That is how this entire mass of suffering originates. This is called the wrong practice. And what is the right practice? When ignorance fades away and ceases with nothing left over, choices cease. When choices cease, consciousness ceases. That is how this entire mass of suffering ceases. This is called the right practice.
Here what you have to understand, the ignorance is the beginning of this all suffering. So if we can cease the ignorance, either or ignorance fading out of the ignorance can lead to the end of suffering. So you have to understand what's ignorance. So if you know this, all the gratifications are insatiable suffering and uselessness, then your ignorance is finished. You know that what's the real science. The ignorance means you don't know about the Four Noble Truth. Four Noble Truth means if you don't know all the gratifications are insatiable, then it is called as it's a ignorance. If you know these things, then you can end up the ignorance, and then if you keep on practicing the insatiability of gratification, keep on practicing with the keep on thinking of this concept, will fade out your ignorance. So then when the ignorance is fade out, your all the choices and all these consciousness and everything will fade out, and then you can end up the suffering. So this is a very useful sutra to what you have to practice. Then you can understand that you have to understand the ignorance and how to get rid of ignorance. This is the main thing you have to understand.
The right practice, supramundane path, is called cessation of gratification.
Okay, I think this is the teaching about the Samadhi. The word Samadhi is called as a knowledge of cessation of gratification with the knowledge of insatiability, worthlessness, uselessness of this all the gratification. The first 4 session is very important to understand what is ignorance and Four Noble Truth. So if you really understand the anicca dukkha anatta, this is the way to understand right view and samma ditti. Now I think question time.
Thero and Saranai Hamdurane, I have one question. Can I raise it now, or
Yeah.
shall we give it some time? Okay. So this question is from Derek. What are the preparations required prior to starting meditation for the first time?
Yeah. Before doing there are 2 type of meditation. One is mundane type, laukika, and another is supramundane type, lokottara, ariyana. The lokottara dhyana or supramundane type meditation, before we are doing these things, you should have the knowledge of asada, adino, nisana. That means gratification and drawback of the gratification, and how to escape from this gratification. So that's why we explain 4 sessions to understand, or if you can understand the lamination part of the all the pains, all the happiness, there are some lamination part. If this lamination part is a mental fabrication, so you can keep on, if you keep on thinking this for while some time, then lot of your attachment will detach. But whatever the very rough type, that mean that olarika, that mean very biggest attachment will detach. Then you may have very small amount, but very as a Satara Satipatthana, you have to understand this Four Noble Truth and keep on practicing day to day life. When the day to day life, suppose that someone comes to you and scold to you, shouting to you, then you have to keep the anicca dukkha anatta in your mind, and you have to stop by fighting. So this type of very rough type of all the clashes you can get rid of day by day by practicing the Satara Satipatthana. So it may get some, I think normally 3 to 6 months to when you go to the work, when you go to the school, when you go to the university, when you deal with your friend, and when you go to the job, and day to day you met some problems. With this whole the problem, you have to apply anicca dukkha anatta and get calm without getting anger, because anger is the main problem. If you when you come to the meditation, if you have very hateful thought, without if you have very hateful thought, it's very difficult to go to the dhyana. So before that, you have to take a 3 to 6 months, and you have to keep on practicing this all the very heavy part of the hateful thought you have to get rid of. When people are scold to you, when they are shouting to you, when people are making some problem to you, you have to keep shut down, keep silence, and without attacking, you have to train your mind not to get hate. This is the main things. Because after come to the within the meditation program, we don't have time to practice practice these things for you, because this part before come to the meditation you have to practice. Because even the last part is okay, because just last part means when you are day to day life, there should be last, unless you can't keep on practice your day to day duties. So from lust, you can escape the lust and go to the first dhyana. So then before go to the first dhyana, you should have lust is no problem. But if you have hate, that's a very biggest one, because from hate and lust, the biggest biggest very huge amount of klesha is hateful thought. Hateful thought have a very big amount of energy. Those are very harmful to the dhyana. So even if you singing no, drinking no, eating and those things, for lustful one, those are not a very big problem. But if you have very that's abhijja. The abhijja mean very heavy lust. Heavy lust mean the anyway you want that one. That type of thing you have to get rid of, the because those types of also affect your meditation. So before come to the 9 days karma session, you have to do yourself, because no one can else do these things. Because if you get some angry, hate, because that the same incident may not hateful to others, because some particular things, incidents are there, those are hateful to you but not to other. So from the Satrasatipatthana portion of the meditation is customized to the each of you. So you have to get the whatever incident or some visual form or sound or smell or whatever the things is, it is giving you a hateful thought, then you have to keep on practicing the anicca dukkha anatta and get rid of this hate. Because this part we don't have time to practice those part. We can only practice the first, second, third, fourth dhyana. The before that one, your Satrasatipatthana, that all are a klesha. All are given the very rough part of this, all the cravings should be away. So these have to be practiced before meditation.
The next question is, I think, from someone who knows Dhamma, quite a bit of Dhamma. The question is, what is the difference between Satara Kamatahan and Karmasthana Bhavana?
There are no Satara Karmasthana in Ari Dhamma, because in Ari Dhamma they have Lord Buddha have explained only one Karmasthana. Etan santang etam panitan yaddan sabba sankara samato sabbubhuti patnisaggo tannaka virako nirodho nibbānanti, to gain the samadhi. So the nowadays there's all the Buddhist devotees are change from beginning to up to very recent. They have make change all these things. Suppose in Satara Kamatahan they are explaining Buddha Anusati. In Anguttara Nikaya Mahanama Sutta, Buddha Anusati is explained as a first, second, fourth dhyana. Mahanama Sutta. Buddha Dhammanusati as a fourth dhyana. Sanghanusati as a fourth dhyana. Tyaganusati as a fourth dhyana. I have explained in the Sinhala medium very earlier. Tyaganusati, Devanusati, everything as a dhyana. When Buddha Anusati is explaining, when someone is contemplating the properties of the Lord Buddha, then your mind is at the Samma Samadhi. It is mentioned in Mahanama Sutta in Anguttara Nikaya. But nowadays they are taking this, since they can't understand the dhyana, then they are taking the Itipiso Bhagavara, this they are just chanting the Buddha Guna. So that's not the way Buddha Anusati is explaining. Other thing, Asubha Anusati. As a Asubha Anusati, what they are doing, their body is not good. They are taking this as a, they are destroying, they are spoiling and smelling and lot of blah blah they are taking. But Asubha Anusati in Buddhism, there is a Asubha Sutta. It is mentioned, Asubha Sutta means all the gratification are asubha. Asubha not good. Asubha means not good, not a good things. Asada is the asubha. So if you understand the asada is the asubha, this is a not good thing. So that's why is anicca dukkha anatta. So we have to cease these things. So nissarana, that means cessation. So when we are doing the supramundane type of meditation, we are get rid of the asada. So asada is a asubha. So nowadays they are taken as a body as a asubha. This is a wrong misconcept what we are using. That's why we explain that all the misconception what we are using up to now, we have to throw it away and get the correct one. That's why the Payasi king is asking from a Kassapa Thero. So if we are having a misconception, whatever the misconception, we have to throw it away and get the correct one. So that four Satara Kamatahang is not in Buddhism. In Vimuktayatana Sutta, there are 5 Vimuktayatana. That the Vimuktayatana is the difference. The Satara Kamatahang is later on some spiritual groups are created themselves as they understand. This is wrong concept. Satara Kamatahang. Only the first, second, fourth dhyana is a way to Samma Samadhi. In eightfold path, noble eightfold path, supramundane way, the Samma Samadhi is first dhyana, second dhyana, third dhyana, fourth dhyana. Samma Samadhi is 4 dhyana. No 4 karmasthana, 4 dhyana. To get the first dhyana, we have to chanting. You have to keep on chanting or keep on thinking. Your thought create the klesha. All these klesha created by thought. Then you can reverse this thought to cease the lustful, hateful, delusional thought.
The next question is, I think, from today's program. What the viewer is asking is, you asked us to keep our mind in one place for 2 minutes, and I couldn't. Should I practice to keep it in one place, or are we going to do something different in future?
Yeah. If you go to the Samma Samadhi, then you can keep. Then that's why as a layperson that either become a Sotapan, you can't do. But after you keep on doing the practicing the 4th dhyana, then your avidya is not there. So you can keep as you want. But we have to purify the mind. Without purifying, you can't keep. In really, if you go to the 4th dhyana, you are totally you create you keep your mind at the Dutu Nivan Shanti. So this what you have gained up to now. Yeah.
Next question is about the program. Is there a session on aura and manadhamma in future?
After explaining this whole bhavana pahataba meditation, then we are try in as a next session. So really the problem is when you are explain the manadhamma, I think there are not enough Tripitaka reference to show in the as a reference. We have to think of this later on after explain of this all the meditation program. After 4th program, only we can think of this.
I think, today we had a few technical issues, so there's nothing on YouTube, and this is all the questions we have today.
Okay.
Shall I finish the program, or is there anything else you want to mention before that, Hamdurani?
Okay. If you don't have any question, then we can stop.
Right. Thero Saranai, everyone. This concludes today's program. Our next program will be in exactly 3 weeks' time, and that will be the 6th of February at 8 a.m. It's the same time. So there will be a post shared a week prior to that with the exact times. Many merits to Venerable Abhaya Thero, the translator, the organizing committee of Arya Dhamma Meditation Group, and all our participants. May all of us attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana. Theruvan Saranai.
Wish you all the best and with the Nibbana for the all the members and participants, and help the this very good session for Arya Dhamma Meditation Group UK and Nirapeksha Maga, what the whoever helping us. May I සියලු දෙනාටම උත්තරීතර නිවන් ශාන්ති සාක්ෂාත් වෙත්වා කියලා මම සෙත් කරනවා. අභිවාදන සීලිස නිච්ඡං වද්දා පචායිනෝ චත්තාරෝ ධම්මා වඩ්ඩන්ති ආයුවන්නෝ සුඛං බලං ආයුරාෝග්‍ය සම්පatti සග්ග සම්පatti මේවච අතෝ නිබ්බාන සම්පatti ඉමිනාතේ සමිජ්ජතු. නිබ්බාන කුසසුපත්තං නිසසුපත්තං නිසසුපත්තං නිබ්බාන කුසසුපත්තං නිසසුපත්තං නිබ්බාන සුපත්තං නිබ්බාන සුපත්තං නිබ්බාන සුපත්තං